I'm live. Okay, so this is my second attempt to showcase Joan's stencils. I'm sorry it didn't work last time. I'm sure it was one of Microsoft's lovely little updates. Got myself a nice drinky. And here are some stencils. Hey, Facebook mentioned me in a post. Did they? Gosh. If anybody's here, let me know if you can hear me. Hi, Eddie. And thanks so much to Joan for letting me play with her stencils. I have here lots and lots of lovely stencils all flipping about. These are lovely. I just love the design of these. Sort of almost like little beings in a rocking chair or something. And then there's this lovely leafy design, which is superb. And there's about 3 of those, I think, are printed out of one, cut out at once. Came on the same sheet. I only printed 2 of these because I was trying to get the other things done. So I only got 2 eyes, but that's plenty. You only need 2 eyes and a head. And a lovely flower with leaves. I do like the way it's turned into something with patterns as well. So it's abstract. I love that. I'm very into abstract. I don't know what this is, but it's lovely. Maybe Joan can explain some of them. And I've also got some of the bits that fell out, which I thought would be lovely to print with as well. So there's another one, you see. Super. Got 2 of those. And these are these swirly things again. And the one with the little cross on the top. Superb. Also, what I was fighting with a moment ago is the wrought iron. I think this is excellent. It's absolutely marvellous. Oh, thank you, Joan. Thanks, Eddie. Good. At least I know it's working today. I just love this. And you get bits at the edge as well. So you can use that too. Super. So, better start with something. The wrought iron, I think it's a little big for this one. This is my 8x10 plate for one of them. And it's got something from Paula's stencils I did last time. And it just overhangs a little bit, so I will be using a bigger plate for that one. So I'll put that over to the side. And I've got some cartridge paper here, which I might use, but I've got a word to say about that for some other reason. And I've got lots of these. This is rice paper from the, what do you ever call it, packet? Yeah, Yasutomo rice paper. It's got a word on it, and I can't remember the flipping word. The paper's upstairs, but this is, the pad is upstairs. This is some of it. And it's got this sort of woven feel on one side and a smooth feel on the other side. I like to use the woven side because it seems to be a bit more absorbent. But if you use this smooth side, you might get a clearer print. All depends on what you're doing and how. I've got some lovely bits of clear, almost card, but not quite. This is lovely stuff. It's called Colour Copy, and I've used it for so many things. I mean, it prints well in the laser printer, it prints quite well even in the inkjet printer, and it just gives lovely, lovely results. So I've got those, and I think I've got some more rice paper over there, and I've got tissue, and a whole load of, this is the begins with a C, Carnival. Carnival paper, and that's the stay wet stuff, which is what I'm using here. Okay, so I've brought down loads and loads of paints. So let's have a little go with a bigger plate. Now I brought down this big plate here, a mighty amount. So we'll try with that one. Isn't it awful when it gets into autumn and winter and you start being a bit snippy? Thankfully, my cough that I was plagued with for so many years does seem to have laid off a bit this year. It still comes and goes, but it has been so much better this year. I think it's something to do with fixing your biome, your gut biome, you know, eating the right sort of things and drinking the right sort of things. Like this stuff, which I'm not advertising. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's kefir, but it doesn't matter which brand. It's got the cultures in it, so it helps you. This one's flavour's blueberry. Yummy. So we'll start off. I've got my brayers here and the big one for this. And we'll lay some stuff out. Now we've got a previous print here, but I'm going to use the wrought iron on here, right in the middle, and I'm going to put other stuff at the side. So I'm going to start with a smaller one. I think I might put this at one end actually. Then I've got a bit more room to put things at the side. Yes, that's what I'll do, because I'll probably cut it up after printing anyway. Right, set things down, we want them. I do like these leaves. They're so nice. Joan is very clever to be able to get abstract leaves. I should look at a leaf and just think, I'll put some dots on that. That's about as far as I go. But these are excelente. So I put one of those there. And one there. There we are. Now we've filled it all up. So let's have a go. I was going to put some of this. This is Deco Art Americana. And it's peacock teal. I love peacock teal. So this is gooey. And it doesn't have a small squeezy thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop a bit out with my little, what's it called, catalyst wedge. This is the tiniest one. Now, it doesn't matter, I could have just as easily used one of these things, but it's still a bit big for this, the top of this, if you see what I mean. It's not really quite the right size for that one, so this little one works better. So mix it a bit, because it's not, I should have shook it first, but I didn't think about that. In fact, I might think about it right now. I've got a bit out, but if I shake it, it'll get it a bit more gloopy. Probably even be able to pour it. Ew, gloop it. I'm just globbing it down. So I've got a fair bit, and I think I might use a little bit of the Naples yellow, because I do like the combination of that. And that'll be just, it's even gloopier, this one, I think. I should have, oh, it is much gloopier, a tissue somewhere. Here we are. I've got a whole roll of the darling things. Kitchen roll. Yeah, something's fallen on the floor. What a surprise. Just so I don't contaminate the yellow, you know. I should have had some water down here, but the thing is, I've been doing a lot of inking, and I've suddenly had an urgent requirement for lots of jars. So my paint pots that were down here, my water pots for paint, have been sequestered. And I've been using them. Ooh, that is nice. Right, a bit more. I'm going to do it just these two to start with, because I'm going to see what happens. It's not quite on, is it? You should tell me it's not quite on. There we are, another one. There we go. Clean it up, because if you don't clean it now, you have to go away and wash it, and that would be a waste of time, wouldn't it? And I could be having fun here. Oh, I do so want to show you what I've been having fun with, but later. Right. Oh, gloopy. Look at that, lovely and gloopy. I put too much on. Guess what? I always do. I just go, I want more of that one on there. I was going to put some Payne's Grey on. It's a good job I didn't it? Oh, I must get rid of that. Otherwise, I should be painting it. There's a big gloopy bit down there. Let's see if I can hoik that up and get it to join in. Lovely. I'm probably going to get a right mess from the first pour, but the second pour should be good. Yes, look at all that. Much too much paint. But that's me. I do things like that all the time. But you've got to be prepared to just have fun, haven't you? Really? If you're not prepared for that, if you're trying to do it so scientifically, it's not really going to work. So let's try. Will this one work that way? No, it won't. So I'll try it this way. Nearly fits. Nearly fits. So if I use a fresh bit of this to just pick up the edges, which are probably dribbling all the way down. And that bit. I've got an old plate with an old print still sitting on it waiting to come up, but I hesitate to use that because I've got a fairly good idea that that will not release anything until tomorrow, if I was to do that. And I've got some lovely red there. I'll have a go with that in a minute. Right, Baron. Give it a good old squidge. Don't forget, I'm not expecting anything out of this one. And I've got something anyway. Look at that. See, if you don't expect anything, woohoo! Hello, Keen Design 64. How are we doing? Did somebody say hello, Paula? Keen Design 64. Is that Paula? I don't know. Nobody tells me anything. Anyway, so that's a nice one. I will pop that down over there. And I will try another one on this without putting any more on. So I'll just try with the smooth side of this up the top. And a bit more. Got edges. This is tissue paper. The first one was not tissue paper, but breast paper. Yes, you do more. Got goo all over my fingers now. Yes, I've been doing a lot of inking lately, making inks and fighting to get the ink. Oh, hello, Paula. Hello. I wondered, otherwise you were Keen Design 64. And he might not have liked me anymore if I kept addressing you so formally. Now, I've also got my bigger, heavier one, which I can use, but I reckon I'm only going to get you know, just a sort of test print of these. Oh, that's a nice stripe, though. Isn't that nice? Lovely. Ooh. Pop that down. And this one will probably tear because it's rice paper and I've left it down too long. See? Told you. Thought it would. Might have rescued it. Oh, nice. I've got a bit of paper came off somewhere. There we are. There. Oh dear. I shall have to put some more on now. But that's rather nice, isn't it? Rather lovely. It's going to make great background for a book, isn't it? Superb. And I mustn't put it on there because I'm showing you that later. Oh dear. Just got to rescue the prints I put on the floor when they decide to turn over and look as if they're going to paint on my valuable carpet. Well, my husband says it's valuable. He just doesn't want to pay for a new one. So I'm going to use some red on here now. This is one of my favourite reds, this one. This is Quinacridone Crimson, the Vallejo one. And again, I've got to use my little scoopy thing because it's quite a thick, this. I mean, it's not coming out in a hurry. So let's put some thick jollops on, shall we? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I might get some purples out of this mix. If there's much movement in the paint that's already on there and drying. Just try it. Well, it's coming off on the spatula. Catalyst wedge. Isn't it quiet without Violet here to cheer us on? Uh-oh. Right. Now you came from there, so you go back there. Into there. This is not wanting to join in anymore. Anyway, I'll do this bit here. I'm being careful with that bit now. Of course, I should have been careful with it before. But hey ho. Yes, stay still, you beast, you. I never seem to know where to put this. Or maybe just put too many barons in the way. Now, want a biggish piece. Which I have right here. Give it down. Move side down. Right, Baron. Get the edges. I'm going to do a short long haul as I've started one. Just checking to see if anything else is trying to escape. No, it stayed down. Good, 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 good. Look at that lovely colour. Ooh, it looks scarlet on the screen. It's darker than that in real life. Violet. Yeah? Violet's gone to a different part of America for a trip. I must put that on the floor. Or near the floor. Oops. Look at keeping these from sticking to themselves. There we go. What else have I got down here? I've got a bit of that. Here's a bit of that. Shall I use a bit of that? Yeah, why not? Fluorescent green. I just like an idea of putting a bit of this in. Let's check it first. And I think a little bit of something else. Can anybody guess what I'm going to use? I don't know yet. What's that one? No, I think my first idea is better. What's that one? And what's that one? Ah, there it is. Permanent Violet Dark. Yes. To bring out the permanent Violet Dark. Copper. I could have used copper. Certainly could. If I could have found it. Yes. I think it might be quite close to me having to pull it up, especially if one bit's trying to escape already. See, it's still doing it. Still trying to escape. Oh, there's another one trying to do it. Yes, this will probably be the last one. And then we'll pull it up and see what we've got because it's trying to escape. Now, I want a big piece. I think I'll use a piece of that colour copy paper. Not photo paper. Don't use photo paper. It's not brilliant. Bit stick. Right, so I've got that edge sorted and I'll pick it up with this along this edge. Can't pick it up anymore. Good. So I want the Baron now. I want to make sure I've got good contact. Probably won't get much from this either. I think the plates always seem to need a bit of a warm-up, don't they? Of course, if you don't expect much, what you do get is always a nice surprise. There is that. Oh, nice, nice. Yes, and they're all popping off, so this will be the last one. Because they're all trying to escape now. Including that one. I was trying to do it before. Look at that. I do like that. Isn't that lovely? That really shows you the wrought iron beautifully. Really beautiful. Even got some patches of rust here, or verdigris. Lovely, lovely. And we've even managed to get some green and blue on the leaves. Wow. Superb. So we'll lift these off now. There comes the wrought iron. And look at that lovely print at the bottom. Superb. I have to decide what to lift it with. Any suggestions, anyone? I mean, look at that. I do love those with the lovely colours on them. I'm always inclined to think, oh, I want to use that. There's those two loose bits. And lovely. So what shall I use on this? Another piece of that, I think, because I think I might get a pretty D result. You never know your luck. So what am I going to do on top? Any ideas, folks? What can I do? I've got some light green. No, don't want that one. I think I want some more of the maybe Naples yellow. I mean, it's almost dry now, Joan, so not quite, but almost. I think I'll put some down first, and then we can play with another plate, you see. How about Aztec gold? I've got some Aztec gold here. Not sure. I think copper might be a better idea. Aztec gold, anybody? Yes, gold. I think I'll go for the gold. Let's go for the gold. Oh, isn't that a lovely sound? Right. Let's have a lovely plate today. It's nice when you've got really decent stencils that you can just go ahead and do whatever you like with. I mean, sometimes when I've been designing stencils, I've done them and then I've gone, this one keeps pulling up in the wrong places. But this, even the bit that did pull up, I mean, went back down again. No problem at all. So we want a piece of that card, which I've got down there. No, don't do that. Here's the head. Hey, 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 hey. What's that one? That's not one. Ah, there's the bit of... There we go. Otherwise known as glass muller, because you can use it with that as well. I think it's actually sold as a glass muller. We'll leave this one until later on, okay? So we'll have a look at the back. I think that's going to be quite nice without the blue. The blue's just on this side. But yes, I think that's going to be pretty good, don't you? Like minds think alike, Joan. I think that's going to be really rather nice. So let's get another plate and have another play with the rest of them. Now, what have we got? That one. That one. This is some remnants of footprints here. That's okay. It'll soon go away. What else? What else? I like that one. Lovely. Well, I've got a bigger one here. No, I think that one goes better. And I can use these two. I have not used it. There we go. And what happened? What happened? Oh, they're still on the other one, aren't they? Now, I can't use those then. So let's have a go with something else. Quinacridone magenta. I like a nice quinacridone magenta. Actually, we can get in a bit closer than that. That's better. Is she pretending she meant to do that all along? Right, and something else to go with it. My old favourite. Titan Buff. So that's quinacridone magenta and Titan Buff. Should be quite nice. Lovely colours. Sorry, it was getting a bit far away from me. That's better. I don't want to do it too much because I want to retain some of the areas of colour without them blending too much. And they are in fact already blending a fair bit. Oh, I'm sorry about the cough. As I say, I've been fairly free of it most of the year. Sorry, had I have a sip? Paper. There's a smaller piece. Lovely. I don't think I'll use the banner on that then. I'll just make sure I've got all the little bits to try and get the print. Pretty nice. Now, if I had any sense, I'd have some alcoholic wipes there. But the thing is, my skin has become so very dry that alcoholic wipes is not a great idea. So I'm just going to have to get used to painty fingers and washing them once. Well, I'm already used to painty fingers. Oh, whoops. Ah, it didn't like that much. This is obviously not the carnival tissue, or it wouldn't have done that. Now it's doing it quite a lot. I can't stop it. I just want to get it off now. Oh dear. We'll do it again. No bother. Lots of tears. Never mind. Onward and upward. That one is sitting over the bin to dry. That's a warning to you. Dry nicely. I'm going to have another go with the same colours. And I'm going to use a thicker bit of card. That's the only solution. So how's everybody been? You all been fine and well? I hope so. Yes, I've got a lot to talk about today, really, but not in the middle of playing with stencils. I don't think, because I could go on and on about it for ages. I've become obsessed. And you don't want to listen to somebody obsessed. Not until we get to the obsessed section. There we are, that's given me some nice stripes. Oh, and a lovely print over there. Super. Now, we want some of the card for a start, because I know that will pull up nicely. And I can also print on the other side. Now we can use the Baron. It was starting to look like such a nice design. I thought, use the same colours again. See if you can't get a decent pull. Oh, nice. You're going to like this. Isn't that lovely? I do like that. I mean, I know it's pink, but I put the pink down. It's magenta. It's not pink, it's magenta. It's a bit deeper here on the page than it is in the screen. So I claim it's magenta. And I'm going to do... I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and cut it in half so I can use the other half. And then we'll see what the next one looks like. Pair of scissors. I'm using my scissors that I use for stencil cutting, which are not hugely, but they're nice. They've got I like the big area for putting your fingers in. And they have their own little blade guard. There we are. I think that's not bad at all. I think it's going to be rather a nice print when we take the stencils off as well. I mean, look at that. I quite often you push it so you don't get these little holes, but I rather like those, especially in this one. It really shows it up nice. Really does. Let's pop that down. Right, so we'll use this piece now. And I think we ought to use some other colours. And my idea... I don't know if this is going to work. What's that? No, that wasn't what I was looking for. What have I got in? Ooh, what have I got in here? Might use some of that. Let's see if this will work. It might not, but let's have a go. Guess what? Too much paint? We'll have to wait and see. This is a shaky one, so it's a bit thinner than that one. So I'll put a little bit on, and I might put a bit more on afterwards. I'll see. I've put quite a bit on now. Yep, too much paint as usual. Never mind. Scads of paint. Scads of it. Yes. Right, we'll pull that up with the other half of this. Yeah, I'll probably just make a mess because I have definitely put too much on there. But you never know. Get a handprints? No, maybe not. I can hear it squelching, so it's probably pushing the excess paint out of the way. But I think it's printing quite nicely. Not too bad at all. I was afraid I might go a bit too overboard on the black, but I don't think I have. But I know what I'm going to do now. Just the one. We'll see what happens. Right. I'm going to use the big colour copy paper again. There's a lot of light on that, really, isn't there? Oh, sorry about that. See? Nice. So we'll put this on. I must try not to use so much paint, you know. I mean, expensive stuff. I'm not going to be able to buy any more for quite some time, but I have got rather a lot, so it's not going to run out anytime soon. Well, that's what I thought, Eddie. Luscious colour mix. I thought that might work quite well. So let's pull this up and see what we've got. Ooh, there we are. I think that's rather nice. I really like that. That's really nice. It's really definite. It's got a very prominent definition, hasn't it? I mean, that is rather good. It's not quite so bright red as it is there on the screen where you can see it, as I see it myself. I see it a little bit on the darker side, more like blood to me. Yeah. Let's have some nice blood. That black is lasting very well, have you noticed? That was Mars black from... Oh, it just says Artists Paint Acrylic. And so I've got absolutely no idea where I got it from. Oh, the cheap shop in Tiptree. Sorry about that. Oh, if you wanted some, you'd have to come to Colchester, or at least Tiptree. But any black paint would work, you know, in the tube like that. Don't guarantee that it will react in precisely the same way, because you never know with different makes of paint, do you? There's a nice red there, I've got to think. So what am I going to do with this one? I know what I'm going to do with this one. I know. I've just had another lovely idea. At least I hope it will be a lovely idea. It is a bit ethnic, isn't it? Yes. Yes, Joan's stencils do have a little bit of an ethnic feel. I think it's the abstractness. You know, Aztecs seem to be abstract. It could be that they simply couldn't draw, or it could be that their folks actually did look like that, and they just like the block designs. It depends on what you're working with, really, doesn't it? But I do like the Aztec designs. Let me get this bit up and on there. There we go. Trying to make sure I got some in the depths of the stencils. There we go. Right, did I cut another piece of that? I did, so I can use that. Lovely, lovely. I mean, if you think about block printing, cut out of wood to make a stamp, then it's much easier to cut a geometric design, you know, with blocks and blobs, than it is to carve something beautiful and flowing, depending on the type of wood you're using. If it's a hard wood, it's going to be a bit more difficult. Yes, I've been working a lot with inks lately. Natural, botanical inks. Not always botanical, but homemade, handmade. Because at the moment I've just put some pieces of copper pipe bend into a jar with some acetic acid, because I'm running out of my copper coloured ink. Here we go. Now you stay down there. They're starting to think about coming up, you know. Oh, this is looking nice. And it's pulling a bit on the paper. It's getting dry. I think it's getting a bit too dry. Look, it's leaving paper behind. Ooh. I've still got a nice print, but it has left paper behind on the stencil. You can see the white bits. But not to worry. I will carry on. I think that's rather lovely. Nice. Nice, nice. I think it's time to take these off. They will need washing now. I will give them a good scrub afterwards. What I do is I do it with a soft nail brush, so I'm not damaging the stencils, but I'm getting in all the little orifices. Right. So I'm going to put these away. Ew, they're all gloopy. And get another bit of paper and decide. Let's decide what I'm going to pull it with. Oh, that's softer paper. That's not the same stuff. Well, we'll try it. See what happens. This is very floppy. I'll just go and get some more proper stuff. It's only over here. It's not far. You think about what colour we're going to put it with. A whole watch of A4 ones already cut even. Super, super duper. Yes, they are, aren't they? And they're kind of on your hands when your hands get a bit dry too. But I like using a nail brush. It doesn't work so well on really delicate stencils, but Mariah doesn't have a lot of those, so you haven't really got much problem. I used to cut really, really delicate stencils, but yeah, they don't stand up to it in the way you want them to. I want this one. In fact, I'm going to have another go with this quinacridone crimson, magenta, quinacridone magenta, sorry. That's quinacridone crimson, that's alizarin. Take no notice of me, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm going to add a little bit of this one in the gaps. There we are. That's enough. Yep, I've overloaded it with paint again. Let's see if I can get some of that off. If I move these further back where they ought to be, I probably can. They're all crowding in, wanting to have a join in, don't they? That's a bit better. I'm trying to keep it going in the same direction so I get the stripes instead of blobs. There we go. A4 colour copy paper again, because I like it. And it's that little bit stiffer than the paper that I just picked up and wasn't so happy with. Don't even know what I did with it now. Oh, here, you see, this is quite, it's not so as this. Got a lighter flick to it. As if that means anything. It's definitely paper, whereas this is not card, but edging that way. And I've got a line across there. I knew I would have, because there's a little bit that is poking out. So catch that. Now, shall we have a look and see what we might get? Does it have a coating? What, this paper? No, I don't think so. It's just nice, smooth, white paper. It's colour copy is what it's called. With an O. Colour with an O, not an OU. Well, we'll see how that comes up. It's looking quite distinctive, I think. Might do it a couple of times, but I think this might come up now. Yes. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. And I will take another pull to get rid of the bits that are left, so as to have a nice clean plate. But that is lovely. I must do some more of the stencils. And I'll see if I can wipe that up first. Of course, I haven't got any water in here. All I've got is yogurt, kefir. I don't think I'll be picking up the bits with yogurt or kefir. There we go. That's pretty much got rid of it. I was going to pull it, but I couldn't be bothered. Sometimes there's not much left to bother with. Now, what else have we got over here? Let's have a look. Oh, we've got that one. That one's lovely. Look at that. A little bit more over. And this one is nice. Very, very abstract pattern. That's better. I've got big bits here, which I don't think are going to fit, but I can put partials on. Like that. Yes. think that's going to work. I turn that round a bit. There we are. Lovely. We've got a nice selection of things. So, what should we go for now? What have I not used? What have I not used lately? That for the way. That and that for the way through the paint. Him. Dragonfly, they don't show up much. Neutral grey. What's that? What's that? And that's a metallic green. I think I'll have a metallic green. And a bit of neutral grey, just to see what happens. There we go. Why not? If you don't try, you never find out, do you? And I think I might not have put too much paint on. Oh, hello, Sherry. See, that's all come up red. Lovely. There, piece of paper. I do like the doing things slightly off the page, but sometimes these can work better if you use a bigger bit of paper and you can pick up these extra little bits that are leading the eye off the page as well. But we're just using this size at the moment. It depends on what you're going to use them for afterwards, you see. I mean, sometimes I get these prints and the edge of the paper is a bit furry, you know. It's a handmade paper or something. And sometimes on that occasion, the part of the print like this goes off the edge and it does pick up the bit when you put a bigger bit of paper on. And when you do that, and then you pull the print and you look at it and you go, instead of going chop, 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 and cutting it off, I go chop, twinkle, 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 twinkle. When it's dry, you know, not while it's still on the plate, but afterwards, so that I get all the edges, all the weird edges. And that's great when you're doing collage. Absolutely great. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's nice. Look at that lovely, gentle blend of colour. That highlights the metallic green without overpowering it. That's nice. I could have done with a bit more grey even. I like that. I think I must like all colours everywhere. I will show you what I've been doing. I've got the book box to show you and some prints that are not done on the gel plate but are done with stencils. So that could be fun to look at. Let's go with a nice indigo. Haven't used indigo for a while. Just some drops. And what else should we do? No, I think I'll use the quinacridone magenta. Because it's the same consistency. I do try to keep to the same consistency of paint. So if I'm using high flow acrylics like this one, I try to use the high flow acrylics as well, or something that's not quite so far off, like maybe just the fluid acrylics. could have done that, and I was about to, but I thought I'd use this instead. I think the colour might be oh yeah. Oh, can't you just love that colour? So nice. I think that's about it. Don't think I need to do a lot more. Just try doing some bits of the edge. It won't make any difference because I'm only using small bits of paper anyway, but there you go. I almost hear the paint going. Oh, lovely, lovely. Look at that. Isn't that marvellous? Look at that. It almost looks like you've got a shadow around that bit there, doesn't it? Oh, I love that. That is marvellous. These stencils, even from different designs, go together so well. I mean, congratulations, Joan, because they're marvellous, absolutely marvellous. I'm lifting these up because we've got nice pattern around them, and I've still got some more stencils that I want to use, and there's the edges as well I want to use, because you can use the edges of stencils as well as the stencils that are cut out, the bits that are left behind, you know. That is a lovely one, isn't that lovely? And look at that. Luscious, luscious. What shall I pull this with? Just had a load of fun with that, and I'm about to pull it. I'm not sure what to pull it with. What's that? No, definitely not that. They do make some choices. I don't just pick up a paint and go, okay. No. No. Oh, okay. That might work quite nicely. Yes, okay. You're going to guess what I've chosen? Because there's quite a lot of paints that I would pick up and use, so it might be a bit difficult to guess. Let's have a go then. This iridescent gold. Fine. That's what it is. Go on. Silly thing doesn't want to focus in on it, but never mind. I've just said it, so. I'm doing this quite lightly because I don't want to disturb the print below. I don't want to get the paint all over. There's a bit missing there. Okay. That's good enough. The thing is, I find that I can't plan on what I'm doing because I don't work like that. So what I do is I play, and then when I've finished playing, I look at the prints and think, I know what I'll do with that. Works a lot better when you've actually got the print in front of you. Ooh, that slid. Did you see that? That actually moved. I don't think we want that to happen. I don't think this is coated, this colour copy. But I've got it in both A4 and the A3, which is lovely. Yes, I've been playing with inks a lot, trying to get a scarlet. And so far, not having a lot of luck. But I've been told that you can get a nice red. It didn't actually say scarlet, so it probably isn't scarlet. If you use Brazil wood cooked in vinegar, boiled in vinegar. No water, just the vinegar. And I had some acetic acid, 30%, so I've done it in that, and boy, the pong in the kitchen was amazing. Like pickling vegetables. I wore a mask because my breathing's not brilliant. Let's have a look at the other side and see what might happen if we're really, really lucky. That's not bad, is it? That's quite nice. Delicate, but quite nice. Let's see if that pulls up like that. I bet it won't. Well, actually, it is. It's smudgy and smeary, but it's got some definition in places. I do like this bit here and these bits here that show it up so nicely. See, it is quite nice. Of course, I've used an iridescent paint, so iridescent? Yeah, iridescent gold fine. So it shines like mad, but that is nice definition, I think. It's not print perfect, you know, like you might get in a shop, but then I'm not a shop, and I like that. I think that is lovely. Say goodbye. Now, what next? Well, I think next I'll do another pull of this, and I'll try and get it a bit, yeah, a bit different. I'll look at it over here. That. Yeah, no, I don't think so, but this might. I'm going to use this bit of paper here, which is not the colour copy, but I want to try and pick this up. So I'm going to use a darker colour, like indigo, of which there is some traces in here already. So we'll see what happens. Right. I might get a print and I might not. I think it's a bit blurry because it slid just as I put the paper down for the last pull. So that might explain that a bit. There we are. That's lovely. Right, we'll use the paper. Right. This is another A3 paper from I print with it as well. So it's just an ordinary white bit of paper. It's not colour copy or photo or anything like that. And don't use photo. Yes, it was quite sort of dreamy, wasn't it? Maybe one should push the paper about to create things like that. But if I did that, it'd just, I don't know, tear or something. Might not work, but of course you can try and it might. Yes, if you use Brazil wood, you can get quite a dark red when you use vinegar, which I did get. And now I've just been cooking fustic in order to add some yellow to it. And the fustic has cooked, but I didn't get as much as I did out of the Brazil wood. Now this is quite pale. I mean, the definition of the stencils, they're quite ghostly, not all there. But it's a lovely colour. There's little traces of the designs here and there, you can see. I rather like it. That's a really nice background, that. Now the ones that are more like this are not so good as backgrounds because they're so definite. But something like this, that is vague and a bit ghostly, brilliant for backgrounds because you can do absolutely anything over the top. With collage, with sticking things down on it, with almost anything at all. I mean, you could paint on it, paint an image in white and then colour that in. No problem at all. There, now we've got a nice clean plate ready for the next bit. I just want to cut this. Where'd I put the scissors? Oh, there they are. Just want to cut this so that I've got a bit of paper, which may or may not fit a plate because I've left a bit of a gap there, so it may not fit. Yes, I've got some things to show you at the end of this before I say goodbye. Just to show you what you can do without using a gel plate. And I'm really impressed with some of them. I mean, I looked at them and I went, wow. It's when nature, I can almost get that one there. When nature takes a hand, and it's not what you've done to it so much as what has happened while you were away doing something else. I'm going to put these half on, half off. Like this. Well, not half, more on than off. What else have I got? Oh yeah. I wanted to have a go with an edge like this. See, that edge is lovely. So I'm going to cut that. There. And cut that there. So I've got the long bit and I've got this bit, but I'm also going to cut round it like this to give it more, so I don't have a straight edge at one side, in other words. You see? So it's almost another stencil. So if you ask Mariah for the bits when you get these stencils, then you can cut your own bits as well. There we go. That's not quite right. That's all right, but that needs to be a bit more. There we are, because otherwise it was bending upwards. And then you can either do the same with that bit, or you can concentrate more on this bit. So let's concentrate on this bit. Now, there's not a lot of room left, but if I cut it ready, and it depends on what you want to do. You don't have to echo the stencil. You can put your own ideas in. I'm just echoing it. So I'm sort of going with the flow of the original design, just to give it an edge that isn't straight. Right, so now I've got that, and if I cut this one there, I've got that one as well, and this one, and then I can use part of it there, I think, yes, like that, and then do with the other one. I think I'll cut it there, because I can move it. See, I can put that there like that. Now that's got a straight edge. I'm not quite so keen on the straight edge. So let's see if I can't create a little bit less of a straight edge. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we are. So we'll try that instead. There we go. Lovely. And this one, if I cut this in a similar way, now I'm using a curve there. You could put a sharp point to match the one that has part of the design. Or not, as the case may be. So that one can go there like that. And all we've got left is this little old ear. And I can use another little piece of that. If I cut it there and then follow the curve more or less, and that will fit in that space. So much you can get from one stencil. Marvelous. I'm going to leave this whole because I probably want to use the whole of it some other time, so I'll leave it all attached. Or I could, you know, I could put it there. Yeah, so then it's not off the edge of the page. Oh, off the edge of the paper. And I could even put another one here. I hope you don't mind me doing this, Joan, sorry. Jean, where did I get that from? There, that's better. Fills up that little corner. I'll now get rid of all these pieces because knowing me, I'll probably get them to stick to the brayer in a minute. So, oh, I haven't used that. Phthalo, a mixture of phthalo green and phthalo blue, phthalo turquoise. So this is quite a heavy body paint, this one. Jackson's. So I shall need another heavyish body paint to go with it. Oh, there's one there. What's that? Oh, look, I've got a teal. That's a good idea. Yeah, says me, and then I can't open it. Oh, yes, I can. Ooh, big blobs. Very big blobs. They're even sitting in the cap. Oh, that's going to make a lovely squelch when I try and screw the cap on. Oh, maybe it won't. Right. There we go. Gloopy. Yeah, so now I've got to mix some of my Fustic with some of my Brazil wood ink and see what happens. I'm hoping for a scarlet, but knowing me, I should probably get a purple because so far everything has turned up purple. Or a black. Right, paper. Paper. Where are you, paper? Oh, you're down there. Two together. No, you don't want one. You know, I've moved my desk from my room downstairs up to the studio upstairs. Emptied absolutely everything off it. And even in that process, I still have not found that little flat Japanese made of bamboo Baron. I don't know where it's gone. I think it's hatched and flown away like a butterfly. Well, let's see what we've got. We've got stencils starting to come up off the plate. That's what we've got. Pick them up and put them back down again. Encourage them to stay where they were put. Very carefully. It's one of those. Does not want to play properly. Because you can see it's pulling on the paper now. It's not terrible though, is it? It's quite nice. I rather like that. The two teals go together quite well. I mean, the turquoise and the teal. So I think that's pretty nice. So we'll do another one. And perhaps this time we'll add another little something. Yes, I think I will. Try and be a bit quicker. Ugh. That reminds me of. That one. No, not that one. The dark one. I wondered where it had gone. Just a little bit though. I don't want lots. That's enough. It's already a bit much over in some corners. I can't manage the let's not use too much bit. There we are. I've tried to do it, braying it across from corner to corner so that I keep straight. Right. Paper. Paper. Let's try and be a bit quicker this one. Not easy when stencils are not cooperating. Oh, that one's almost cooperating. Oh, no, didn't quite. Nearly escaped a bit. I like that. That's a lovely colour scheme. I do like that. That's almost sort of in the sea, isn't it? It's always a struggle for me, Eddie. I mean, I'm generous to a fault. Yes. Daft beggar. Well, I'm going to lift this up, seeing as how the darn things are telling me to. And it is getting on. I've been over an hour now. I didn't mean to be quite so long. And I've got some things to show you, guys and gals. Oh, I'm loving this. Yes. 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 And one left. I think it's only one left. Yes, I think that's it, isn't it? I haven't got any more left. Right. So we'll pick this up, and I'm going to put something on and pick it up pretty quick, or leave it to pull, and we'll pull the other one that we've got waiting. Yes, we love getting messy. Well, I can take a pull now. Look at that. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Marvellous, marvellous. And I'm going to put some copper down and take another pull, but this one I'm going to leave. So I'm going to put the copper on and we're going to leave it. So you know what that one looked like. This one is just going to have copper with it as well. So I'll turn it over and you'll be able to see what it will look like, hopefully, once I've got all the paper down. Right, last bit of paper, and then I'll just show you what I've been doing. Can't remember if I've shown you the book box. Hi, Gray. Hello. I will be showing all the prints shortly. Well, as many as I can find. I just sort of fling them about any old where to dry. So this one, I'll show you the back. And this one is going to wait and we'll see what happens. It's looking gorgeous. I love this colour combo with copper, iridescent copper, and the dark teal and a little bit of the, leaf green. I think that's worked really nice, don't you? I think that's going to be great, great. Right, let's show you some of the prints. Oh goodness, there are so many. I'm surrounded by them. And some of them are extremely wet. I've just put my finger right in a blob. That one is extremely wet. Yes. So that's the previous one that I just pulled before putting the last one down. One but one, because this one is the absolute previous. That's what I meant by one but one. And then we've got this and this, which I think is lovely. Look at that colour. Ooh. And then we've got this. And then this. Lovely. We've got that ghostly one. I'll show you in just a moment. This ghostly one. Rather nice, I think, anyway. But look at the contrast between these two. Isn't that a lovely contrast? Nice. You could use this as front and inside of a book cover. I certainly would. And then there's this one. Rather good, I thought. It's much redder than it looks with the light shining on it. It's why I'm tilting it like this. See? Lovely. And then we've got this really ghostly one I was thinking about. Lovely. This one, I love the stripes in that. I really do. And there's rather nice white patches here in the stencil where it hasn't been pushed down as much. And I really like that. I really do. I think that really gives this a bit of life. And then there's this big one. And two more, I think. Did I show you this one? I might have done, but I'll show it again anyway. Now that looks quite blue in the screen, but here it's turquoise and teal. Right? And this is lovely. Isn't that nice? That was one of the first ones, I think, if not the first. It was metallic green and, what was it? Neutral grey, Liquitex. And the metallic green was the Dalerani Graduate Acrylic. Really nice combination. I really like the way they look together. Shiny. I have no idea, Joan. No idea. But I'll show you something where I didn't have any idea what I was going to do and ended up doing, I'll show you in a minute, with. But that's lovely. That's the wrought iron one. Really nice. Right, so that's those. Now, what I've been doing, I don't know if I've shown you this completed. I will now zoom out a bit more because you won't be able to see it all otherwise. There you go. So you can see that this is collage, and I've used an actual stencil of mine. I think I cut that one out of cardboard, so I've used it, or thick card or something. And this was cut with a die cut one of, I can't remember whose it was, somebody's. And I've used various prints of things. Now this was one of Paula's designs. That's another one. And I've also used cardboard, so you've got the lovely ridged effect there. And then I've put stamps, no, I've put texture paste through stencils. So I've got these symbols of mine done like that. Yep. And similar with this one here, which is where I actually used a stencil and put it on, I put texture paste on it. And it opens with a click because it's got magnets. And this is what I've done with some other various prints. That's my tomato ones. And that was the stencil, the swatches that I was making into a book, which got so thick that it wouldn't fit in a proper book, so I've put it in a box instead. That was the idea. So I've got all these. And this is a box made out of a bag. So I've got all these sections and another one. And there's the red one underneath. You know, if you turn it over, open it up, Here's the swatches. Again, using stencils and prints. So that's the sort of thing I do. That's what I did with that. I don't know what I'll do with the Joan ones, but we'll see. It should close. Come on, you're supposed to close, you. That's better, it wasn't up. There we are. Now it's got to line up the magnet, that's all. So there's that. And the other thing I've been doing with the inks is this. I'll zoom in a bit more for this because it's a long way away otherwise. There we are. These are on cardi paper. So they're using my Nautilus, some footprints, and the trilobite stencils. And here's some footprints, trilobite Nautilus. And all these are natural inks, handmade. And I'm really loving the effects I'm getting with them. And I loved it so much that I went on and did the moment did this. That's all footprints. That's different sized footprints and different inks. You can see some of it's got the copper ink and various other colours, including walnut. And I don't know what this colour was, but I was trying to get lighter yellows. And that'll be a brown one that has gone that colour with the additions, you know. And then I did this one. I'm really pretty happy with this one. Really happy. Because on this one, I got some purples that stayed purple. I got some greens that stayed green. Didn't get any reds that stayed red. No oranges stayed orange. I've got some browns, but no oranges. It started with oranges, like these lines were brilliant orange. And then they turned purple. Luckily, I like purple. But if you look carefully at this one, this is the large footprint with the dots through. But if you look carefully at it, you can see that there's a lot more dots there than I ever put in. That's nature deciding that it's going to do its own little thing. And I just absolutely adore it. I adore it so much. So I've got two more hanging up upstairs, but I couldn't carry them all down. So maybe I'll show those another time. But there you are, ladies and gents. That is what I've been doing lately. It has got a bit more colour, this one. But I'm hoping that the Brazil wood, and either on its own or possibly with the bus stick. They are both trees from Asia or somewhere. I shall have to make notes as to exactly where they're from. But another name for Brazil wood is sapan wood, if you're more familiar with that name. But I just love how dainty and lovely, and I can't quite show that. I can't see what I'm showing you. Let's get a bit further apart. So this one down here has got some more of those little tiny bubbles that it formed of its own. And if you look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. Don't you love the dark purple over here? It's just marvellous. I love that. Oh, they definitely will be, Joan. I will definitely be using them for something. Nothing ever goes to waste. It always ends up wonderful. And really, with the designs you've designed, I haven't no chance of not making it wonderful, really. It's just such lovely designs. I really like them, and I do hope people will buy them. Or if they bought them, buy some more. Okay, thanks very much, everybody. That's me for today. Now, somewhere I've got my controls where I can get at them. If I move the paint out the way, and then I can get a mouse to work. There's one around here somewhere. I might even be able to get it to go and press a little button. There we go, mouse. And thanks very much, everybody, for coming. Sherry, Eddie, Joan, Paula, everybody, and Gray. It's been absolutely great having you guys here. I wouldn't know what to do without you, really. So happy. Thank you very much, all. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.